Want to bring in Rebecca Brindza. She is an American who's been living in Tel Aviv for 10 years. She is joining us now live. Rebecca, thank you so much for your time. I understand your apartment building was one of the very few left standing after those bombings started coming in. What's the update and how are you holding up?
So we're in Tel Aviv, and there were rockets that came in on Saturday night. It's not always often that we get that many barrages at once, and one of them hit about 200 feet away from our building in an area with a lot of smaller buildings and people that live there and local artisans that have been there for a really long time. And the building was completely demolished. It's terrible. We watched from our window as first responders tried to pull people out of the rubble. And it's just and while this is going on, we have friends that are in the south that were being either murdered or taken hostage back into Gaza. And it's just really a terrible situation. We've never had this many deaths in like one civilian massacre at a time.
I cannot fathom the atrocities, Rebecca, that you have watched play out. How are you even finding the composure to talk about this right now when you're talking about your own friends, your family, your neighbors that have been impacted, have been killed? I mean, where are you finding the strength in this moment?
I don't really think we have, in some ways, we don't have a choice, right? Because there are a lot of people that can no longer share their own stories. And the things that they've witnessed have been absolutely atrocious. And I think that it's our responsibility, not just as Israelis, not just as Americans, but as just normal people who love other people, to speak about what's going on and the atrocities that Hamas is committing, not only to Israelis, but to Palestinians as well. I think when an enemy is coming to knock at your door and they don't really care that you're a person or not, then it doesn't, and they perhaps don't even care if their own people are people with families, then I don't really think we don't have a choice. The only thing that we can do is speak up, speak out. My partner, who's Israeli, is not at the house right now. He's taking supplies to one of the borders so that our troops can go in and rescue the over 150 hostages that are still in Gaza right now.
Yeah. Your strength is just unparalleled, Rebecca. I think we're all extremely impressed by how remarkable people like yourself are in sharing these stories. What is life like in this moment? I mean, is leaving even an option? Are stores and markets even open for families to stock up on food, fresh water, medicine, necessities?
So we have food drives going on. People in areas where there are stores still open are basically stockpiling and then dropping supplies off to families that can't get anything. We just sent a shipment of, I think it's 200 for 200 Bedouin children at a school down there yesterday. And my partner is also coordinating more of these efforts too, with an organization here. The streets of Tel Aviv are pretty silent. We've been instructed to, for the most part, stay indoors, because when if a rocket comes, it's roughly 45 seconds to reach shelter.
Wow.
And not everyone has shelter within their homes. So some people are going to public shelters, some people are hiding in staircases, but life is relatively quiet. And I think the bigger thing is that, I mean, most people here, I work in high tech, and I think we're just having a really hard time. You can't take your eyes off the news. It's good to, but it's very hard. Or just reaching out to see if people are okay.
Yeah, I know
So.
this is the story the entire world has its eyes on and is focusing on in this moment. Rebecca, my last question to you before I let you go, because I know you're busy, you have other things to get to this morning. This is now day 4 of this barbaric bloodshed. What is your family plan when things settle down, whenever that may be? Do you want to stay in Israel? Do you want to go back to the United States? What does the future hold for you?
So my parents are still in the U.S. And I will say this: I am an only child, and does get very hard to be far away from them. But we do love living here. I said this yesterday. I do feel safer here, even with everything that is going on. I do know, and the fact that people were late that our military that we were surprised that our military didn't deploy as fast as I think we would have liked and hoped, and a lot of people lost their lives. I still feel safer here for the most part than I do anywhere else, and I think that staying here is it's a testament to that. I have friends that actually that left, not all of them because of what's going on. One had a wedding abroad, but expressing their concern and wishing that they were able to stay.
Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.